Hey everyone, welcome. Whenever people talk about a crypto ecosystem, it feels like the conversation always gets stuck on just one thing, the price. But what's really going on under the hood? So today, let's dive in and take a real pulse check on the Cardano ecosystem. We're going to look at the actual growth, the key players, and the innovations that are really pushing things forward. But before we jump into the nitty-gritty, just think about this for a second. What are the vital signs of a healthy blockchain? It's got to be more than just transactions, right? It's about the people. It's about collaboration, and it's about seeing real, tangible progress. It's that feeling of momentum. So to get a real handle on its health, we're going to look at 4 key areas. We're talking about the incredible talent that's flowing in, the spirit of collaboration that's just everywhere, how the community itself is funding innovation, and of course, the real-world results being delivered to users right now. First up, let's talk about talent. Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, any great ecosystem is built by great people. And right now, we're seeing this really fascinating trend of super experienced pros from traditional finance taking the leap into Cardano. A perfect example of this is Nuvola Digital. They just brought on a guy named Randy White as a strategic advisor. And listen, this is not just any hire. Randy comes to the table with over 3 decades of deep experience in equity markets and commercial finance. This is a heavy hitter. And the weight of that experience, it's just massive. Guiding over 50 companies through the insanely complex world of public listings, that's exactly the kind of top-tier expertise you need to bridge that gap between the old world of traditional finance and the new world of crypto. And that bridge is being built in these really cutting-edge sectors like real-world assets and decentralized physical infrastructure. I mean, these are fields where having someone with Randy's background is an absolute game changer for navigating all the complex rules and financial structures, bringing in legitimacy and a clear path for some serious growth. Okay, so bringing in top talent is step 1. But what's step 2? It's all about how that talent works together. Because a healthy ecosystem isn't just a bunch of cool projects working in their own little bubbles. It's a thriving, interconnected network. And we have a fantastic example of this in a brand new partnership between the Goofy Gophers Mining Club, or GGMC, and Snekkies. Now, if you're in the Cardano space, you know Snekkies. It's a massive NFT project with a huge community, and for a while now, they've wanted to get into mining. And this is just a perfect synergy. It really is. Snekkies has this incredible community and the vision, but let's face it, mining is technically complicated, and that's where GGMC comes in. They provide a completely hands-off expert service so the Snekkies team can keep focusing on what they do best. It is a true win-win. And the announcement just said it perfectly. This isn't about competition, it's about collaboration. That spirit, that willingness to build each other up, is a core strength and a really key indicator of the ecosystem's health. Okay, so we've got talent and we've got collaboration. But where do all the new ideas come from? Well, in Cardano, a lot of them come directly from the community, which has this incredibly powerful tool to bring them to life. And that tool is called Project Catalyst. The best way to think about it is like a decentralized venture capital fund, but it's powered and directed entirely by the Cardano community. Anybody can propose an idea, and then all the ADA holders get to vote on which projects get funding right from the ecosystem's own treasury. And look at this. 3 perfect examples right here from BankerLabs. They aren't just building one little product for themselves. They're proposing foundational tools that will help the entire ecosystem. Their main proposal is a new model for asset-backed launches, which could give new projects way more stability. But they're also proposing things like toolkits for developers and better solutions for airdrops. This is bottom-up innovation, live in action. So here's the crucial question, right? We've got talent, collaboration, a pipeline of new ideas. But is any of this actually delivering real value to users? To answer that, let's turn to the DeFi space and see what's happening. First up, let's talk about Strike Finance. It's a decentralized exchange that's been making some serious waves. And they're focused not just on building cool tech, but on a core principle of DeFi, generating a real, sustainable yield for the people who actually use the platform. And the proof, as they say, is in the pudding, or in this case, the numbers. In just their latest reward period, they distributed 150,000 ADA directly back to stakers. That's not theoretical value. That's real, cold, hard ADA in people's wallets. And they are not slowing down. They're constantly adding more utility for their token holders, with plans to roll out features like up to 25x leverage coming soon. Now, Strike isn't the only one making moves. Over in the lending world, a protocol called Flow has been on an absolute tear, just rapidly gaining traction and shipping new features left and right. I mean, their growth has just been explosive. They've already climbed to 7th place by total value locked on all of Cardano. And that's a clear metric that shows massive user trust and adoption. They are the real deal. And they have this super clear, transparent plan for building long-term value. They've already delivered staking and governance, and now they're working on the next big things like increased leverage and letting users create their own pools. This kind of methodical, step-by-step execution is exactly what you want to see in a serious project. So we've checked all these different vital signs. What's the overall diagnosis? Let's connect all these dots and see what the pulse of the Cardano ecosystem is really telling us. When you put it all together, the picture becomes really clear. We're seeing seasoned experts from traditional finance joining the ranks. We're seeing a culture where projects build each other up. There's a powerful engine for community-driven innovation, and DeFi platforms are delivering real, measurable value. These aren't just signs of life. They're signs of a healthy, maturing, and truly vibrant ecosystem with some serious forward momentum. And that brings us to the end of our pulse check. We've really only looked at a handful of examples today, but believe me, there is so much more happening. And that leads to the final, and maybe the most important question of all. What projects in this growing ecosystem are you most excited about? Thanks for joining me.